Hello everyone, my name is Blackwatch and welcome to another episode of How to Fix. As always in this series, we take a look at the operators in Rainbow Six Siege that need a little bit of a change compared to all the other ones. And today we're going to be looking at Monica Weiss, also known as IQ. She's a bit of a strange one in this series because she's not particularly weak, but she does have some weaknesses in her gadget that I think need to be addressed. Let's see what we can change. So IQ is a 3-speed 1-armor operator on the attacking side. She is a member of the GSG-9 CTU and has access to 3 primary weapons. Those are the G8A1 light machine gun, the AUG A2 assault rifle, which is my recommended primary weapon for IQ, and the Commando 552 assault rifle. Now really, all of her primary weapons are more than viable, the only exception perhaps being the LMG, as most LMGs in the game you'll find aren't quite as good as they should be. But the 2 assault rifles certainly are very good, and I would say it's more of a matter of preference. The AUG hits harder but has a bit more recoil, whereas the 552 is almost like Thermite's assault rifle but with a bit more kick and at the same time a little bit meaner in terms of the damage. Now as I said in the intro of the video, this is a bit of a strange one. Now, everything about IQ, including her new frag grenades that she stole from Capito, unfortunately for our good man Souza, has made her a pretty strong operator from the looks of it, just as a baseline thing in terms of her weaponry and in terms of her secondary gadget. Unfortunately, this doesn't quite translate to her unique gadget, which is the RED Mark III Spectre electronics detector. That's a bit of a mouthful, that one. What that does, it's a wrist-mounted gadget that can be held and used with a sidearm together, and in that situation she's able to look within a range of 20 meters and that will mark any electronics that she sees through that window. So by looking through her gadget she'll know the outline and she will know various other bits of information about it, so she'll know the distance that it's at, she'll know if it's moving or not, which is the big thing about her gadget, and the thing that I say at the moment makes it relatively good in some situations, but I say again, some situations, it's a very situational gadget. So there's some situations, as you saw earlier in this clip, that lead to some pretty good scenarios for IQ, and that is with Pulse. So when Pulse is actively on his gadget, he moves around and you can see the outline of the gadget, which gives you a chance to shoot him through the wall and take him out without having to expose yourself. This is pretty strong because it's essentially a wall hack for her against Pulse, but unfortunately Pulse can also see you. The difference maker is the fact that you can see him from a greater range. The only downside, of course, is the fact that you then have your pistol out. Now, a lot of people then said that the way to fix IQ is to give her access to her RED while she's carrying a primary weapon. This is not the right suggestion, and I'm going to say that flat out. I completely disagree. Ultimately, IQ's gadget is one of 3 gadgets that are designed to be able to deal with enemy electronics. She can see exactly where they are, whereas the other people, Twitch and Thatcher, have a much greater ability for dealing with these gadgets. She can see them, that's fine. But if she's behind a reinforced wall and sees them on the other side, she becomes absolutely useless in terms of her gadget. There's nothing she can do to it. She can sit there and tell them that they're there, but ultimately she will not clear any walls or any rooms of electronics unless she's inside that room. Thatcher can throw an EMP and he does it no problem. Twitch with a bit more difficulty can get in and zap them, but she can still take them out. What IQ needs, and what I suggest to fix her, is a 3-time use EMP. Now I think that she could be able to look at a particular gadget. When it's highlighted, perhaps you could press the action button, and after maybe a period of about 3 seconds, you would hear an EMP overload building up, so some kind of electric charge, something like that, before the individual gadget bursts. This way, it's not as effective as Thatcher's EMP, but she is able to individually target gadgets. There's also enough time for people like Bandit to be able to counter it, so it's a bit like having the particular sound of Thatcher EMP landing and rolling, and so it's a way for Thatcher to be still just as effective as he is, but IQ also getting the chance to be a similar but slightly different operator who can deal with the problems that Thatcher used to be the exclusive counter for. She ultimately would become a much more favourable operator in the likes of Pro League and just in general ranked play if she had the ability to take out these gadgets. And so giving her this EMP that can be set off in different places and used on specific gadgets only 3 times is strong enough to clear a wall, but not strong enough to put Thatcher out of business. Ultimately, she's only taking out one gadget at a time, and at the end of the day, that one gadget isn't always going to be the difference maker in the round. So I think this is going to be a fairly easy way to fix IQ and to bring her up to a level that is more useful but not too strong. She's already a pretty solid operator, and I think doing too much more to her could end up pushing her a little bit over the edge. But this one brings her up to the level of Thatcher in terms of her utility, but still keeping the old man in his throne for a little while longer. So I hope you enjoyed it today, guys. I'd like to hear what you think about this episode and every other episode. Make sure to check out the other ones I've got going, and I will see you in the next video. Do svidania, everybody. Bye bye.